QBRs are completely dead and they should be killed off in 2025. My name's Noah Little. I'm an enterprise CSM for the past 5 years, and I've helped over 100 CSMs get their dream jobs in customer success. And today, I'm going to walk you through 10 reasons why QBRs should be killed off today in your organization. So let's get right into it. Your CSMs are creating PowerPoints while your customers are creating exit plans. And this isn't an exaggeration. This is happening in boardrooms across the world right now. While you're busy generating pie charts about last quarter's performance, your customers are having quiet conversations with your competitors. They're drafting emails about exploring other options. They're silently calculating switching costs. And you're completely oblivious because you're too focused on making sure slide 32 has the right logo or the right animation effect. And QBRs need to die immediately. And let's start with number one. They're too little too late. By the time you're reviewing last quarter's metrics, your client has already experienced 90 days of reality of the product. They've formed their opinions. They've felt their pain points. They've celebrated their wins, if there were any. And they've done it all without you because you were too busy preparing for this important meeting. One CSM told me, it's too little, too late sometimes. And your QBR is equivalent of showing up with a bandage on a wound that's already healed or beyond repair. And a quarterly review is like checking your bank account once every 3 months and being surprised that you're broke. The damage has already been done. Number two, the corporate theater fools nobody. Let's be honest what QBRs really are. They're an elaborate performance where everyone plays their assigned role. You pretend what you're sharing is groundbreaking. Your clients pretend that they're interested in listening. Your boss pretends that this meeting is driving retention. It's corporate theater at its finest, and everybody knows their lines. One VP once told me they don't have the bandwidth to breathe or do simple life stuff like take their kids to the park after work, yet you expect them to sit through your 50 slide deck on feature adoption metrics. They're not engaged, they're trapped. They're checking emails, they're checking their Slack message, they're texting their spouse about dinner plans and calculating exactly how many minutes until they can politely leave. Your QPR isn't providing value, it's stealing hours from the people who are already overwhelmed. Number three, real value is delivered daily, not quarterly. And you don't build a successful marriage by having one big conversation every 3 months. You don't get fit by exercising once a quarter. So why the hell do you think that you can build a successful customer relationship by showing up 4 times a year with a slideshow? I think value is depicted in every single interaction, every ticket, every feature request, and your customer experience is your worth through everyday engagements. Every support ticket is resolved, every feature that works as promised is true, every problem that you solve proactively, and a quarterly song and dance doesn't prove anything that you don't already know. If you have to convince them that you're delivering value, you haven't been delivering enough value, period. Number four, they don't scale and they don't drive impact. Let's talk through the ROI. What's the return on these countless hours spending preparing QBRs? Multiple sales leaders stated plainly to me, they don't scale, they don't drive the impacts we want, aka retention rates and growth. Even the most passionate defenders of the QBR admit they're typically planned and executed badly. Here's the truth, if something fails 90% of the time, it's not an execution problem, it's a flawed concept. And QBR is the business equivalent of bloodletting, an outdated practice that persists despite overwhelming evidence that it doesn't work. If you can show me the data proving QBRs directly improve retention, I'll show you fake metrics designed to justify your team's experience. Number five, your customers are already drowning in meetings. They're already busy. The average executive spends 23 hours per week in meetings. That's half their work week, 23 hours. And you think your QBR is a magical meeting that they've been waiting for. Somebody on LinkedIn said to me, well, what's in it for them? They don't care about your updates. Your customer's calendar is a battlefield, competing priorities, competing vendors, and your QBR is another invader. These C-level executives don't have time to digest your bloated presentations. They're already drowning in internal meetings, stakeholder calls, and strategic planning. And your QBR isn't a life raft, it's another weight pulling them under. If you respected their time and your customer's time, you deliver value in small, digestible interactions that already fit into their chaotic schedule, not demand an hour of uninterrupted talk where you can spew at them. Number six, they're the wrong approach to strategic alignment. Strategic alignment doesn't happen in a manufactured quarterly meeting. It happens through consistent understanding of your customers' evolving needs. QBRs are like showing up to a game only to recap last season when your customers really need a coach guiding them today. Your customers don't need a historian documenting what happened 3 months ago. They need a strategic partner who's in the trenches with them every single day, helping them navigate the challenges as they occur. And QBRs create an artificial milestone that have nothing to do with your customer's actual business rhythm. They force relationship check-ins based on the calendar, not genuine business needs. And the most successful strategic relationships aren't built on formality. They're built on responsiveness, adaptive partnerships that evolve in real time. Number 7, prep time is a waste. Average CSM spends 5 to 10 hours preparing for each QBR. So if you manage 40 accounts with a quarterly review, that's 1,600 hours per year, the equivalent of a full-time employee. And all that time collecting data, building slides, rehearsing presentations, scheduling meetings, following up on no-shows, and rescheduling. And for what? To share information that your customer probably already knows or doesn't care about? That time could have been spent solving problems, delivering measurable outcomes, or developing deeper relationships with key stakeholders. In what universe is this a good use of your most valuable resource? And theirs, time. And it's not just inefficient, it's malpractice. You're directing your team's efforts away from activities that drive value towards activities that simply check the boxes. Number 8, the data is already stale. By the time you present your quarterly data analysis, the information is already outdated. Relying solely on QBR is like checking the weather forecast once a season. It makes no sense. Would you make today's business decisions on market conditions from 3 months ago? No. So why are you expecting your customers to care about usage data from last quarter in today's real-time business environment? 3-month-old data isn't just stale, it's practically ancient history. And your customers need insights that help them make decisions today, not a historical documentary about what happened last quarter. And if your QBR is super focused on past performance instead of future opportunities, you're driving while looking exclusively in the rearview mirror, which makes no sense and is really dangerous. Number 9, the format frustrates everyone. The truth is shocking, but undeniable. Your customers don't want your QBRs. Full stop. Very few of my accounts want a QBR, and many of the ones that do end up having a totally different agenda on the call. They're literally hijacking your carefully planned meeting because they're not getting what they want from your format. They don't care about your adoption metrics or NPS score. They care about their business challenges now and how you're helping them solve it day to day, week over week. They don't want a performance review. They want value creation. The QBR format is fundamentally misaligned with what customers actually need, which is why they either avoid them or it needs to be transformed into something entirely different. Number 10, the innovations are already moving on. While dinosaurs cling to their quarterly PowerPoint rituals and their intensive questions, 4 leaders are replacing it with value reviews, with weekly calls, bi-weekly sessions focused on outcomes and continuous delivery of value. Most customer-centric organizations are abandoning the arbitrary QBR in favor of engagement models that align with their customers' actual needs. Those who are still defending the traditional QBRs are the same people that probably resisted CRMs or cloud computing or iMessage or Teslas because they feel threatened about their comfort zone. And innovation is already happening. You can be dragged along or you can change with the times. And real CSMs are already doing this. Here's a dirty secret that many won't admit publicly. The most successful CS professionals are already abandoning their QBRs in practice while still maintaining appearance of compliance. As one honest CSM told me, I push for the traditional QBRs, but the customer pushes it for a focused discussion on immediate pain points or visioning sessions. I still log as my QBR, but don't tell anybody. I kept my retention rate at 98% quarter to quarter. People are already doing this, but they just want to do it to appease management. And the best CSMs haven't waited for formal permission to evolve beyond QBRs. They simply responded to what their customers actually wanted in that moment. And there's a really clear path forward if you're concerned about this. Stop the madness. Burn the QBR playbooks, delete the template decks, cancel the recurring quarterly invites, replace this corporate theater with a rhythm of meaningful interactions that actually drive value. This could be over Slack, this could be Teams, this could be a phone call. I personally love bi-weekly touch points on solving actual problems. Real-time demonstration tied to outcomes. Strategic alignment actually happens naturally through consistent engagement. And communication that respects executives' time and attention is glorified and is felt. Relationships driven by results, not slideshow reports. And your customers don't need or want another PowerPoint deck. They need you to help them succeed every day, not remind them what happened last quarter. And they need a partner who's present consistently, not one who shows up 4 times a year with a slide presentation to be like, look what we did, it wasn't that great. It's like, they know what you've done. So for me, the QBR should be killed off. Is it a tool? Yes. Is it mandatory? No. And a lot of times what I'm seeing is CS organizations and thought leaders push QBRs, ask them the intensive questions, get them to pay attention. If it was so hard to get them to pay attention, to show up, why do you think that is? Because they don't want to hear it. So if I'm a CSM in your shoes, push back on the QBRs, push back on the 50 slides. Your customers will thank you, your retention will thank you, and ultimately, we're going to drive ROI and value alternative ways. Hope this helps.